Is a conversation between Chris Cuomo and Tucker Carlson really the cure we need? At some point in our lives, all of us have shared polite verbal exchanges with people whose political, cultural, and social views are diametrically opposed to our own. Most of us call this Thanksgiving dinner. But it happens at weddings and birthday parties, on the sidelines at your kid's soccer practice, or any place where crowds gather and people talk. This is what Chris Cuomo wants for America. At the end of the day, what matters is how we connect as human beings, the former CNN anchor said in the opening segment of Monday's Cuomo, his show on News Nation. Conversation is the cure, Cuomo added. When you talk to someone instead of about them, it's very different. Civility. Decency. Openness. The humanity. Sure. Entire community movements are devoted to bringing together those who hold diametric perspectives to discover what they have in common and build relationships. Conversation can also be molded to suit our agenda. This is why Cuomo's insistence on describing his sit-down with Tucker Carlson as such a conversation, not an interview, set off alarms among skeptics. While Carlson hosted the highest-rated show on cable news, he used his platform to spew racist rhetoric every night, including promoting the Great Replacement, a conspiracy popular among white supremacists. This alleges that liberals are plotting to replace white Americans with people of color by, for example, loosening immigration policy and allowing non-citizens to vote illegally. Cuomo didn't broach this or anything about race on Monday's Shiplapside chat, saving it for Tuesday's sequel, along with touching on Carlson's thoughts about women and his false portrayals of the insurrection of January 6, 2021. I am not averse to the conversational model in news. There's an ease in that approach that, when done well, can be disarming and reveal more about the subject and the host than a direct Q&A might uncover, since that method tends to place both parties in guarded positions. It's also possible to engage in probing conversations and push back against inconsistencies without abandoning any earned sense of comedy with the other person. What I take issue with is Cuomo's failure to interrogate the human cost of Carlson's 6.5 years of fulminating against anyone who doesn't look like him or think like him on Tucker Carlson tonight. Here's what Carlson told Cuomo on Tuesday about women: they want to be married and have children. And that is the thing that the Democratic Party prevents them from having through policy, he said. And the reason they do that is because the single most important constituency, as you well know, is not black voters. No, it's unmarried women of all races. And so they do a lot of different things to discourage marriage and fertility, he continued. They actively work to prevent women from forming families. And I think that's evil, and I don't think it serves women at all. That's my view. What does Cuomo offer in response? It is your view. I disagree. I see it differently. From there the show cut to a break. As Cuomo said at the end of the broadcast, my goal is not for you to like or dislike Tucker Carlson. The whole point is that we don't have to demonize what and who we disagree with. It's not working. That's also fair. To anyone who hasn't been demonized by Tucker Carlson. As a reminder, in 2018 Carlson told Fox News viewers that immigration makes our country poorer and dirtier and more divided, and contended in 2019 that white supremacy is a hoax. By the way, Cuomo said this to a Brooklyn woman named Dee Dee, who praised Cuomo for getting her to like Tucker. So you've accomplished what you wanted to do. In trying to present a sensible alternative to the combative shouting matches passed off as news coverage, Cuomo, at least in this instance, creates a fresh problem. Or, if not that, he aggravates an existing tendency to rebrand the furthering of stereotypes and dangerous misinformation as a difference of opinion. Cuomo's insistence on having conversations we need to be having is why he rejects calls to deplatform people like Carlson, who now posts episodes of his show on X, or Candace Owens, with whom he appeared on a recent podcast. Deplatforming, he says, plays like censorship, and you're seeing it more and more. And I would be fine with it if it was getting us to a better place. But it isn't. None of it is. All of it is adding to the division. He goes on to ask, why is there no consensus, at least on common concerns? But let's consider the context in which we're parsing these ideas about conversation as medicine. The same concepts Cuomo touts as curatives of civility, decency, openness, can become masks we don to put our best face forward, especially in hostile territory. It follows that Cuomo's chat with Carlson was entirely cordial and often wondered thanks to Carlson's redirection. Cuomo did push back on some of Carlson's wilder claims, such as his characterization of January 6 rioter Ashley Babbitt as an unarmed innocent who was killed for no reason. He also expressed envy for Carlson's dark hair. Maybe this is why Elon Musk curiously dubbed the two-part back-and-forth the Cuomover. Monday's segment began with Cuomo revealing he reached out to Carlson after he was fired from Fox News a year ago to offer his sympathy. Fox News has never specified why Carlson was let go, but the ouster occurred shortly after the network settled with Dominion Voting Systems and after a series of blatantly racist and sexist texts Carlson wrote re-leaked to the public.